I don't want to get pregnant at this age because I have so much to do. I want to have a career first and then kids later.
I'm just getting started with my career and figuring out what I want to do.
School, work, family, relationships. You've got a lot going on in your life. Finding a birth control method that's easy to use, effective, and works for you can seem totally impossible, but it's not. For a lot of people, learning about birth control and finding the right method can be a bit of a journey.
My birth control journey began when I was a teenager. I was 14, 15, and I started the pill.
I started off with birth control when I first got my period because I had a really heavy period.
When I went to my doctor initially, all she really told me was about the pill because that's what I asked about, and that was what all my friends were using at the time.
I started with the pill and have ended up with the ring. I have tried many methods in between, and I know what I like, and I didn't like those.
Some people find a great method that works for them right away, while for others, it can take some trial and error. Along the way, many of us run into myths about birth control.
I was worried if that's going to affect me having children in the future.
After I spoke to my doctor and she told me it actually doesn't mess up your fertility or anything regarding that.
Using birth control won't affect your ability to get pregnant in the future, even if you use it for years and years. With all of these methods, there are no long-term effects on your fertility.
I have heard that you should not be on the pill for a while because your body won't be able to regulate itself and it's gonna mess with all of your hormone levels and you'll never be able to be regular again.
What I've been told by many healthcare providers is that it's not a problem and that it's okay to be on a hormonal method from the time you start your period to the time you go through menopause.
The hormones in birth control are very similar to the hormones made by your body. Some methods contain two types of hormones, progestin and estrogen, and some only have progestin. These hormones are very safe and can actually help regulate or even skip your periods. There are also methods without any hormones. Keep in mind that your body may react differently to each method. If you're experiencing a side effect that you don't like, your healthcare provider can work with you to try to make things better or help you switch to another option. There are a lot of birth control options out there. Let's start with the IUD and implant, which are some of the most effective and hassle-free birth control methods. Once you have one, you don't have to remember to do anything.
Effectiveness was probably the most important thing for me when I was choosing a birth control method. I don't want to have to, protect myself every single day and have it be a part of my daily routine.
The IUD and implant can last for a long time, but you can get them removed whenever you want. So whenever you're ready to stop using your IUD or implant, you can ask your provider to remove it, and your fertility will return to normal right away. And while it's in, you can feel confident that it's working.
What I heard is, you have it, no babies, you take it out, babies. There's no waiting time once you want to get pregnant. That's nice.
The intrauterine device, or IUD, is a small T-shaped plastic device that is placed in the uterus. You can't feel it in there, but it really does work. There are two kinds of IUDs, hormonal and non-hormonal. Hormonal IUDs have a small time-release dose of hormone, a lot less than you get in the pill or the shot. A hormonal IUD can last for years, but you can get it removed at any time.
Once it's in, you don't have to worry about taking anything, switching anything, staying on schedule. After trying the patch, the pill, and even condoms, I just felt like this was the best thing for me.
The success completely outweighed the possible side effects. So I was completely comfortable going for the IUD.
The non-hormonal, or copper IUD, does not have any hormones and has a little copper wrapped around it. It can last for years, but you can choose how long to use it.
I ended up kind of changing the type of pill that I was using a few times, and then I ended up getting an IUD, and that I've stuck with that. That's been working really well.
I was really excited that the copper IUD was an option because not having any hormones was a priority for me. I have a lot of friends who don't want to be on hormones but don't feel like they have other options, so I definitely make sure to tell them about the copper IUD.
Another hassle-free and super effective option is the implant. The implant is a flexible little rod that is placed under the skin in your arm. The implant releases a small dose of hormone and can last for several years.
I am very forgetful and could not keep up with the pill at all. But the implant just worked so well because for me, it was just super effective.
I think the one I most liked was the implant because I didn't have to go back every 3 months and get a shot.
I decided to try the implant, and that's been great, and I haven't had any issues with it, and I've had it in for 3 years now.
So what is it like to actually get an IUD or implant? First, let's talk about IUDs. An IUD is placed in your uterus by a healthcare provider. Now maybe you're thinking, hello, getting it put in? Isn't that going to hurt?
I was very nervous for my insertion, and it ended up being not a big deal.
It wasn't the most comfortable experience, but I mean, there was just like a bit of a pinch.
I remember the pinch, and then next thing I know, she was like, it's over.
It was, to be honest, a lot more painful than I had anticipated, but it lasted 5 minutes. And then I took Advil like they recommended, and then by the afternoon, I was feeling completely better.
Sure, it didn't feel so nice, but at the end of the day, I really appreciated that I got it.
I like to think of it as an investment. So it's an afternoon and maybe the next day of some cramping, but after that, you don't have to think about a birth control method.
Getting an IUD can be painful for some, and for others, it's not a big deal. But for many people, some brief discomfort can be totally worth it. When getting the implant, most people hardly feel it. The implant is placed into your upper arm by a healthcare provider.
So she gave me the local anesthetic to numb my arm, and then she showed me the contraption that she uses and then put it in.
So you just feel kind of like a pull, and then it's there. Then you can feel it, and ta-da, there's the implant.
There's a little dot right here from where they put it in, so I know where it always is. At first it felt weird, like I was scared that it might move, but I just got used to it. I didn't even feel when I put it in, so it was really easy.
It's easily reversed, so it's not like getting your tubes tied. It's not a huge procedure. It's pretty easy.
So once you've had the IUD or implant placed, what's it like?
I was still spotting every once in a while, but it wasn't a big deal to me. And then probably I'd say 3 to 4 months after I got my first IUD inserted, I was totally fine. There were no side effects. I didn't feel moody, which I had felt on other forms of birth control. And I didn't have to think about it every day, which was a really big thing for me.
I love that I don't have to think about it, and it's just fully effective how it is.
You can really be in the moment, I feel like, and not have to freak out or worry about, like, maybe I'll become pregnant or maybe I didn't do something right.
I really didn't get any side effects from the implant, so I like it.
When it comes to periods, the implant can cause spotting or irregular bleeding, and it may stop your period altogether.
I'll get a little bit of spotting. I don't get my period, and I don't get the PMS side effects.
It does make my periods easier.
With the implant, I stopped having my period, and that's something I really liked.
The hormonal IUD will probably make your period lighter or even go away. In the first few months, it can cause some spotting and irregular bleeding.
I had some spotting. It was a little unpredictable, but it was kind of something that I just started wearing panty liners for the first month, and then after that, I could kind of predict when my spotting would occur.
I have light periods, and that's really the biggest plus for me. You know, I don't even have to wear a tampon or a pad. I could just put a panty liner on.
On this method, I don't get my period, and personally, that's something I really like.
Even though it's completely healthy not to have a period on birth control, some people like that idea and some don't. That's something to keep in mind when choosing which method is right for you. The copper IUD does not stop your period. In fact, it can make your periods heavier, especially for the first few months.
I had worse cramps and heavier periods for the first 3 or 4 periods, and they got better from there until on period 4 or period 5, I was back to totally normal.
It definitely has made my period heavier, and sometimes I don't like that very much, but at the end of the day, I still feel like it's, the best method for me. I feel like with most
birth controls, there's going to be some side effect with all of them. This is a side effect I can handle.
It can take a few months for your body to adjust to a new method, so try giving it some time. Looking for other birth control options? The pill, patch, ring, and shot are all great methods that require some ongoing effort, but can be very effective if you're good at sticking to a schedule. Most people will have lighter and shorter periods while using these methods. Some people experience side effects like spotting, mood swings, headaches, or breast tenderness. Let's start with the pill. It's a little pill that you have to take every day at the same time. Many people like that it tends to make periods more regular, so you know when it's coming.
The main reason why also I wanted to use the pill, I was speaking with the nurse and she told me that my cramping for when I regularly have my period would reduce and the flow of it would be lighter.
It helped regulate my emotions, it helped regulate my period, getting it less and lighter.
With an IUD, it felt like if something went wrong, I had to go to the doctor and miss a day of work or take time out of my life to deal with it. The pill feels more convenient to me.
There are many different pills available with slightly different hormone combos and side effects. You may try a few different pills before you find the right balance that works for your body.
Now I'm on the pill, and I've gone through a couple different pills since then, and ultimately the pill that I'm on right now, so far so good.
I found a pill that really works well for me, and I don't have any issues with it at all except for having to take it every day. But for me, like, that's a good trade-off.
The pill is most effective if you take it at the same time every day. To help you remember, try setting an alarm on your phone or make it part of your daily routine.
I like that it is very easy for my routine in life. The pill is something I just do, like brushing my teeth every morning.
I take it around in the afternoon when I drink a smoothie. I drink smoothie every day.
What if taking a pill every day just isn't for you? Another method, the patch, is changed once a week. The patch sticks to your skin, kind of like a Band-Aid. You change the patch once a week for 3 weeks in a row. On the 4th week, go patchless and get your period.
I like that it's just simple. I only have to change it once a week. It's not really like intrusive. With the patch, the only side effect I've really had is around the time to change it. It might get itchy, but that's about it.
What about the ring? It's a flexible plastic ring that you insert into your vagina. Leave it in for 3 weeks, then remove it for 1 week to have your period.
I chose the ring because I don't have to worry about it every single day. The doctor said that it's every 3 weeks you remove it, and then you also get your period too. That's what I like about it. So it's just like a monthly thing to worry about.
The ring comes in a little package and it's actually refrigerated, which surprised me. It looks like a hair tie, but it's a clear plastic piece, and you just give it a pinch and then you insert it into your vagina and let go and it'll stay put.
I just put a reminder on my phone when to take it out or when to put it back in. So it's not even part of my daily life. Like, I forget about it till like that 3rd week.
For most people, the ring helps to make periods lighter and more regular over time.
It helps regulate my period. My periods were super light. It was amazing. Also, it cleared up my skin, so that was really good.
During intercourse, I thought it would distract my partner maybe, but after talking to him, he doesn't notice it at all.
Another option is the shot, which prevents pregnancy for 3 months at a time, so you only have to think about it 4 times a year.
You know, the shot, I'm good for the next few months. I have better confidence in the shot because it's just in my bloodstream now, and it's there. It's something that someone can't take away, so it makes me feel more confident about that.
There might be spotting while using the shot, and many people stop having a period altogether. Some people may gain weight with the shot.
Well, I feel like I've been gaining weight, but I guess it all equals out.
By the way, it can take some time for your fertility to return to normal after you stop using the shot. The pill, the ring, the patch, the shot. If you're good at sticking to a schedule, these could be great methods for you. There may be situations when a condom breaks or you forget to take your pill. In cases like these, you can turn to emergency contraception. methods that work after sex to prevent pregnancy.
I used emergency contraceptive because I needed to. I had unprotected sex, and so it was really scary. I didn't really know what to do.
The first time I used emergency contraception was when the condom broke, and at the time I didn't have any idea what it was until we researched it, and I was freaking out, but once I got it, I was calm.
One form of emergency contraception is a pill that you can take up to 5 days after having unprotected sex, but it's more effective the sooner you take it. You may have heard this called the morning after pill, Plan B, or Ella. After taking it, some people experience mild side effects, but they usually go away after a day.
You have some minor cramping here or there, but it wasn't anything traumatic.
I felt a little nauseous, but I was happy I did it.
Emergency contraception pills are safe and won't harm your body or prevent you from getting pregnant in the future, even if you take them multiple times. You can get emergency contraception over the counter at a pharmacy, online, or from your healthcare provider. Remember the copper IUD? It can also be used for emergency contraception, and it's the most effective option. Get it placed within 5 days of unprotected sex, and then you get the bonus of ongoing birth control. But what about sexually transmitted infections?
My first piece of advice would be always use condoms.
Condoms provide protection against STIs and are a common form of birth control. Other birth control methods help prevent pregnancy, but only condoms give you STI protection too. Plus, you can use condoms with any other method.
I have the implant and then also using a condom.
I was using condoms to protect myself from, pregnancy and STDs.
I like condoms because they're simple, they're really easy to get. You can get them for free at a lot of clinics or at a health center. They're small, so you can throw them into any bag or purse, and they're just always handy when you want to have sex.
Condoms come in different sizes, textures, and even colors.
You can make it fun and flirty, and also putting on a condom takes about 10 seconds.
It is something that I've talked about with partners, and I won't sleep with someone if they're really adamant about not using it.
Condoms are key for reducing your risk of getting an STI, and it's also important to get tested regularly. When it comes to birth control, you've got choices. Everyone has different reasons for choosing the method that works for them. It depends on what you want and what works best in your life.
Birth control is very important for me to be able to keep doing what I'm doing.
I didn't have to worry about anything. I don't notice it. I can just carry on and not have to worry that I'm pregnant, like every day.
Knowing that tomorrow, if I wanted to get my IUD out and start a family, I could do that and make that decision for myself, I think is really powerful.
I know it's best for my body because, what may be good for me may not be good for someone else.
Ultimately, everybody is different. Try something out, talk to your doctor, really know your body.
Bottom line, you can find a birth control method that's effective, doesn't interfere with your love life, and works for you.
I think the shot right now is a really great way to not get pregnant.
I trust the pill.
I have a copper IUD now.
I chose the patch.
I feel safe with the ring.
I am currently using the implant.
Yeah, I love my IUD.
We didn't go over all the details or all of the methods, so if you have more questions, check out bedsider.org or talk to your healthcare provider.